Good. Let's start with this. Of course, since we have been talking about water in different areas and contexts, and now we're going to focus our attention on the continental waters, what they are, which ones they are, and how they are formed. We need to start by setting up, of course, revising or just clarifying, or just if it, I don't think this is new for you, the water cycle, right? I think you have seen this before in elementary school, maybe. Have you? Guys, let me enable your microphones. Yes. Santiago Tejada, what can you tell us about the water cycle?
Hello, can you hear me?
Clear and loud.
Okay. The water cycle, it starts on in the water, and when the sun is passing off any water surface, it hits the water and the water evaporates and then it just goes to the air. And when they go high enough, the pressure, they condense and they turn into clouds. And then the clouds may move, and after they have moved for X time,
certain time,
yes, the gotas, droplets of water will just become too heavy to be held on the cloud, and then it will start to rain, o sea, precipitation. And if the environment is cold enough, it will snow. Tal vez maybe granizo.
How do you say granizo in English? No idea. Haze.
No idea. It will haze. And then those waters are just going to fall everywhere. Some are just going to flow in the alcantarilla. Some will just flow into other bodies of water. And some will flow underground, below the surface, and they will become mineral waters, aguas minerales. And I don't know if I'm correct, but I think that's where the bottle Peñafiel
mineral water, yes, the one we drink, they come from, exactly.
Basically agua con gas.
Yeah, some bubbles, right? And that's it. The cycle is over.
No, it repeats forever.
It repeats forever. Yes. Exactly. Right? I think it couldn't be said in a better way than Santiago has just said it. Oh, again, I know this is not new for you, just recalling. Let me give him a reaction, of course. Yes. Of course, you have said it in Spanish, I'm pretty sure, but it's mainly the same, no? Percolation. This water release some steams, it evaporates, then it condensates, and then it precipitates, and transpiration and percolation again. Okay? Why is it important to get to know about the water cycle, or to remind you about the water cycle? Because in the cycle, this final stage of the cycle, sorry, after the precipitation, when the cycle starts over and over again, some of these raindrops, or some of this heavy rain that Santiago was telling us before, or some of the haze that it's also falling, if it is the case, or snow, some of them do not take the cycle again. Some of them just hand in and take a different route. creating other bodies, water bodies. In this case, continental waters. Okay? Yes, Santiago Tejada.
I want to talk about other two things which may happen to the water. One, if a cloud passes over a urban area and it absorbs the smoke of the industry, it will turn into smog, no, toxic clouds.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's of them or from something else, but it can rain acid. Acid
Acid rain,
rain.
yes,
Yes.
exactly.
And also,
Exactly.
sometimes when a cloud gets too big, creo, it will descend and it will create a niebla, no?
Fog.
Yes, fog.
Mm-hmm.
Fog, which is like the smog, but it's healthy. And speaking of fog, I once, my aunt once went to Puebla and the fog was like here, just above your nose, and it was so cold that she had to cobijar her daughter with a massive blanket and then just put her in the car and then they left. And also
Yes,
the
it.
fog can make things like look like if you're in a scary movie. Because when I once was in Puebla and I was
Ooh,
traveling
spooky.
spooky, I was traveling the road and we stopped and we were surrounded by a forest, right? And it was in fog. And the environment was como this is creepy.
Mm-hmm. And it's really hard to have a good vision whenever you are on the road. No, it tend to be dangerous. Yes, of course. Thank you very much. Well, yes, of course. What Santiago was explaining is what might happen in different circumstances, different factors. But eventually, I mean, no matter what the end of the of this rain or heavy rain or acid rain is, whenever comes to the percolation, that it's like a like if it was a filter, a giant filter. So some of during the percolation, some of these water would take a different routes or different parts, creating the continental waters we are going to be talking about. Okay, so we're not focusing on the water cycle, just the context for you to understand how rivers, lakes, or the water bodies are created. It's thanks to the cycle and thanks to the evaporation, the condensation, the precipitation, the transpiration that allows going to cycle again, and the percolation. As I said, it's like a giant filter. So there's like through this filter, these different drops are selected to be part of a different body, water body. Okay, very good. Let's move on then. Well, before, I'm pretty sure that you have also seen before. Wait, I want to see the percentage of water in the planet. Yes? Have you? What is the total water on Earth? Total water on Earth. Pablo.
It's like the 90%, no?
90%. Okay, Pablo says 90%. Who gives more or who gives less? Or do you all agree with Pablo? Don't Google it. What you know. Yeah, Santiago, stop cursing. Okay. Santiago.
The percentage of water you are referring to water in relation to land.
Yes. The total water on Earth.
Can I when the Earth is like 30% land and 17% water.
17?
70, 70, 70,
Well.
70.
70% water and 30%
Land.
land.
Mm-hmm.
So you defer to Pablo's idea that he says it's like 90.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. What about the others? Agree or disagree? Or no idea? Let's see what we have here in the chat. I agree with Santiago, says Dana. Ivana Ruiz, 70 or maybe 80%. Okay, but not 90. Okay, well, 90. Santiago Trejo says 90 as well. Fernanda also thinks it's 90%. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's find out. What can you understand from this graphic? Wait, Santiago. Wait. Can you make an interpretation of it? What do you want to say, Santiago? I just wanted to give a few seconds for them to analyze. Santiago, what do you want to say? Then Pablo, then Dana.
Yes, this graphic, it's basically representing the 100% of water all of Earth. And the whole Earth, the surface of the Earth is 30% land and 17% water. And from that 17%...
Again, you said 17.
70.
70.
Yes. From that 70% of water, 97% of it is agua salada.
Exactly.
Sea water, ocean water. And from the remaining 3%, like 99% of it is frozen. Or that's what I remember.
Was. No, maybe
yes,
we cannot assure now that it's still frozen.
Was frozen.
No, maybe, yeah.
And what it remains, like the 1%, is for the lakes, the swamps, the rivers, the quién sabe qué.
All the other continental body waters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Which is practically nothing. No? Okay, Pablo, yeah.
Yes, that how Santiago was saying, the 9% of total water on the air, in the air, well, it says that is saline water, and the other 3% is fresh water and
water. No water.
Yes.
Water is another
water.
thing.
The ice caps and glaciers, 68.7%, groundwater 30.1%, and the others that are lakes, swamps, and rivers represent the 0.9% and 0.3%.
Okay.
And for example, the lakes that represent it says that represent the 87% is 87% of that 0.9%, no?
Of the surface water, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the same with the others.
Exactly. So we can conclude that 97% of the water belong to the ocean, as we were saying, salty water. And the remaining 3%, it's divided into all these features that are shown here, right? The ones we're focusing our attention are, of course, lakes, rivers, and some other wells. We're not talking about swamps properly, but some other continental water. So that means that 3% of the water belongs to the continental water in different presentations, let's say, right? So it's practically a minimum part. If you have had the chance to travel around Mexico, I mean to the countryside, you might have found that there are lots of rivers, lakes, lagoons, etc., etc. Well, those only represent this small percentage compared to, I mean, for instance, just to give clear examples, to the beach. Oh, just to put it into, sorry, more concrete words, right? We have more salty body waters than fresh water bodies. Let's see that. Which ones are we going to be talking about specifically? Rivers, lakes, underwater bodies, and glaciers. That, if you remember, they represent a small percentage, okay? We're going to focus attention on these four: rivers, underwater bodies, lakes, and glaciers. Okay. How many rivers do you know? Have you been? Do you usually visit rivers? No, never? Do you know rivers in Mexico? Yes? El Río Bravo? Maybe? Any other? No? Rivers? No, guys? No, guys? No rivers? Anyone? So you usually go out? Lakes? No lakes either?
And I do.
Girls?
I do.
Dana, yes.
It's just that I can say I've known many rivers and lakes, but it was since I was 7. Now I'm 12, and the 2 years of quarantine, so it happened a lot, and I don't remember all the name.
Okay. So the quarantine has left you some sequels, side effects. Okay, Santiago. Thank you, then.
You were talking about body waters in Mexico. I know, well, there's the Rio Bravo. That's literally the only river I know.
Really?
Yes. I also know Lake Texcoco, which
Okay.
it existed and now it exists, but at the same time it doesn't, since the city of Mexico is on top of it, but it's sinking.
It's not a lake anymore, right?
Yeah, it's like between lake and underground body water.
More or less. Very
Yes. And can I say some things from abroad? Don't worry.
Why not?
I'm gonna be fast.
good. You have done it before.
Yes,
I don't
it's
see why not.
the Mississippi River, the Hudson Bay, the Amazon River, Río Paraná, Río Paraguay, Río Pilcomayo, the Congo River, the Lake Chad, the Rhine River, the...
And no rivers in Mexico, only the Bravo River.
It's not that there are any more no other rivers in Mexico. It's just I don't remember the names.
You don't remember the names, okay. Río Colorado, says Ivana Ruiz.
Ah, yeah, that
Okay.
one. There's also
That one?
the Volga River in Russia. There's the Tigris, the Euphrates, the Nile River, the Yellow River, the Yangtze River.
It's the same as the yellow.
Ah. Okay, so Yangtze is the name in Chinese.
In Chinese, exactly.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Very
good.
That's it.
And that's it. Excellent. Okay. Well, let's see that. Let's start. Rivers. Wait. I got something black there. Give me a second. Okay, ready.
Épico.
Okay, ready. Rivers then. Let's just identify a little bit how our rivers form and what happened with rivers, why they are rivers. What can we learn about rivers? Have time? Yes, we have time. Let me close a little bit my camera. Okay.
Los ríos. Un río es agua que fluye por la tierra. ¿Cómo se forman los ríos? El agua de lluvia fluye hacia abajo por las montañas. Esta agua de lluvia forma arroyos. Y los arroyos se unen formando un río. ¡Genial!
Easy, you see? How are they formed? Really easy. Oh, how they are, let me open how they are formed, no? That's why, remember, I told you that we needed to check the cycle of water, oh? Because thanks to the rain, or the heavy rains, water flows down mountains, and they form, before becoming rivers, what are they? Before being a river. Fer.
Arroyos.
Streams, very good, right? That are smaller, no? And who is writing here in the chat? Arroyo Santiago. Why in Spanish? Why in Spanish? Why in Spanish? Okay, so rivers, easy. Comes from heavy rains, mostly heavy rains, of course. They flow down mountains. They first are part of streams, and eventually they turn into rivers. Right? It says here, rivers' direction and speed depend on the relief, of course. Remember, when we talk about the relief, we talk about the valley, the mountain, the hill, the depression, the the plateau, the plain. Depending on the relief, it is going to be water direction of a river and the speed. Most of the time, rivers tend to be quite calm. But we can also find really speedy rivers that tend to be dangerous, of course. Remember, we have said this before, we must be totally respectful with whenever it comes to water bodies such as the beach, the ocean, the sea, rivers, lakes, whatever. So you don't know how nature might react or behave. And in this case, some rivers can be, again, as I said, quite calm, while some others might be really, really speedy and dangerous, and get lots of like a current. No, it is very common. So whenever, I don't know if you heard the news, se lo llevó la corriente. Well, yeah, no. If it is speedy, the current can get you, and you can sink. I mean, you can of course be harmed. You can hurt yourself. You can sink. You can drown. And then we're going to be talking about something really dangerous and risky. Okay, let's wait. Let's talk about basins. Do you know what a basin is, Santiago?
It's like the humid area which surrounds a river.
That surrounds a what, sorry?
And let me say it slowly. So basically you have your river, right? For example, take the Amazon River, or the Congo River. The humid areas surrounding those rivers. No, wait, I remember. The basin. So basically the rivers tend to start in mountains, right? And the Amazon River, it starts somewhere. I don't remember. It starts in Peru, in the Andes, and it's gonna flow through Peru to Brazil, and it's gonna diversify into, I don't know, Bolivia. It's gonna go over all of North South America until it's reached the ocean. And well, it can divide into a lot of mini rivers when reaching the ocean, but the overall area of the final section of the rivers when it's about to connect with the ocean, that's called the basin.
Okay, and what happened in the basins, Santiago?
It's humid, it's rich in water, and you can like make farming in the woods.
It allows
farming.
Agriculture, very good. How can we say basin in Spanish?
Delta. No?
No.
No es delta?
What?
Don't you say basin in Spanish? Delta.
Okay, another way to say,
Bahía.
or another translation. Okay. Oh, it can also be like a cuenca, no? Where it gets like kind of I was going to say stock, but it's not stock, like stored. That was the word I was looking for. Oh. And of course, according to the sedimentation and according to different factors and what the streams, how the land sloping into streams can also create these basins. And of course, the most relevant or the most remarkable thing about basins, as Santiago has already said, it's that it allows farming or agriculture. This is the benefit of a basin. But if you see, as it is illustrated here, again, flowing down, turning into streams, some of them turn into rivers, some of them remain as basin, and it is also an important part of, it got stuck in a second, of these continental body waters. Okay, basin, very good. Right. No, it's working. Okay. So, as we were saying, rivers. I don't know why, but I think we geography teachers kind of knew that students might not remember or might not recall rivers in Mexico. So we decided to include el mapa de los ríos de la República Mexicana, just for you to get an idea of how many rivers there are in the country. Just take a look. I mean, of course, you don't need to write them, you don't need to know them or memorize them. Just be aware and identify all the rivers that we have now all around the country. Some of you mentioned, of course, Colorado and Bravo. And I think that's it, no? But take a look. Yaqui, Mayo, Fuerte, Concho, Sabina, Salado, Pánuco, Papaloapan, Balsas, Tuxpan, Cazones, Tecolutla, ¿no? Grijalba, Suchiate, Tehuantepec, Río Hondo.
Chile's capital, Kings,
How many rivers? Again, I'm not going to ask you to memorize them or to learn, but just to be aware of how mighty they are and how important body waters they represent for our country. No? Maybe next time, whenever you get a road trip, you can identify or visit or plan a trip to any of these states and get to know just to see the landscape and get a picture about the rivers. It would be really nice. Oh, look at them. Dana, do you remember now? Or not at all? Or do you have no idea? I was lost. Yes? Sure? Excellent. Excellent. Look at all of them. From north to south to east to west. Have you ever been? Now I'm asking you again, have you ever been near one of these rivers or visited the rivers? Yes? Which ones, Anna? Now that you are able to see the names.
Well, I remember some of them, but I also remember some of them that I guess they are not rivers. The Río Lerma, the Palcatepec, the Balsas, Papagayo, and I don't remember the other ones, and I can see them at least. And I remember that I visit them because I don't remember. But my mom says that she always took my swimming suit, yes, and I like it to get into there to swim, but I don't remember that.
Okay.
That's what mom says I did. I don't know.
Thank you, very good. Santiago.
Okay, I once went to Las Grutas, which are in Hidalgo.
Tolantongo?
I don't know if that's a river, but I'm sure it's an underground body of water. Las Grutas.
We're going to talk about them. Las Grutas de Tolantongo.
Yes. And I also went to... I don't remember where. It was somewhere in the center. I basically was in a lancha. Well, not a lancha. I didn't have an engine. It was just like these boats. A boat. Yeah. And I was with all my family, most of it, with la familia de mi mamá. And then everyone had to be on the edge of the ship, the boat.
The boat.
And then we were just traveling the river. I don't remember the name. It could have been any of Or those like in the region around Hidalgo, Guanajuato, no sé qué. And so yeah, I basically was like in there for like a while. And I just traveled like a river, a portion of it.
Okay.
And also I went to
like sailing?
No, I wasn't sailing. It was just like a tour, un tour.
Okay,
of the
okay,
river.
okay. Mm-hmm.
Then there's also like an area of the river in which people could dive. No? The water was like really cold, and there were like fish and everything in there. Also, I have went to Acapulco a lot of times on vacaciones de verano, summer vacations.
Mm-hmm.
And I tended to go to this artificial river. It's technically artificial because pues it's agua con cloro, right? Yes, I think it's agua con cloro. And then
Chlorine
I
water?
give you this donut inflable of all sizes, and then you are just there and chilling, and the water just it drives you around the river until you have enough, and then you leave.
Like
And
rafting, but artificial
yes.
rafting?
Yes.
Okay.
And also my mom went to Baja California.
Mm-hmm.
And then she went diving as well. She went. And then she told to me like, son, the water was cold as heck. I was freezing. I couldn't even get really in the water because it was freezing.
Okay.
But then she said it was really beautiful. But son, the water was so cold.
Very cold.
Yes, it was
Yes.
cold.
Rivers
I
tend to be
don't
really-
remember where. And before you ask, no, my mom didn't see a vaquita marina. Ah. Okay.
Maybe you can finish the story next time because it's already 1:46. Okay, Santiago? Bear in mind your story. Okay, excellent. See you later then, guys. It's time to move on. See you later.